Welcome to Python video tutorials. In this video tutorial, we'll understand how to use for loop in Python and related concepts as well, right? So when we talk about the for loop is used to iterate over a sequence. When we say sequence, that can be a list, tuple, or a string. We can also use a for loop to iterate dictionary and set as well, right? So let's try to understand through an example. So here you can see I have a list of fruits, right? I have given the name as fruits. Let's say I would like to iterate all the elements from this list. So of course we can use for loop. So I'm going to use for, and here you can give the any variable name. I would say f in, and after that you have to give the name of the collection which you want to iterate. So that's nothing but the fruits, right? And inside that you can process each and every item from this collection or list. So just sake for simplicity, just I'm printing every item from this collection. Let's see what output we get, and here is the output. We get the all the items from this collection, right? That's got printed over here, right? If you do some kind of processing, business processing inside the loop, you can do for every elements, right? That's the first use case. Now let me put some marker over here before go ahead to explore some other concept, right? Now for loop also we can use to iterate a string, right? As you know, in Python, strings are iterable object, right? And they contain a sequence of characters. So using for loop you can iterate a string. So I would say for, and any variable name you can keep in, and the string which you want to iterate, right? So here just I'm going to write Java, and just I'm printing every character from this string, right? So if I say yes, if I run this program, then you'll see every character from this Java is iterated, and that's got printed, right? So that's how you can iterate basically a string in using a for loop, right? So let me put this code in the start itself. Yeah. Now next thing we are going to discuss how we can use break statement in for loop, right? With the break statement we can stop the loop before it has looped through all the items, right? So let's try to understand through an example. So here what I'll do, I'm going to make use of this loop which is basically iterating every item from these fruits. And what I want if here I'll get the one, I would like to put some break condition. So if equal to if I get a fruit name as mango, then I would like to exit from the loop, right? So here here, or what we can do, okay, sorry guys, sorry. So here if I'm iterating every item from this collection, and what I'm looking, if value of fruit is mango, then I would like to do the break, else I will print the item. Okay, pretty simple. So if I run this application, then here you can see apple got printed, kiwi, apple and kiwi got printed, but whenever we encounter mango, then we exit from the loop. So when you have a business scenario where you are just iterating a collection, right, using for loop, and once you get the once you get the desired value, then you would like to exit from the loop, right? And that's how you can use a break statement in the for loop, right? Now next thing we are going to discuss about continue, right? How we can use continue statement in for loop, right? So with the continue statement we can stop the current iteration of this loop, right? And continue with the next item, right? So let's try to understand through an example. So just I'm going to copy the same piece of code, and here instead of break, just I'm going to write the continue. So what will happen when we will write continue? then what we are doing over here is just we are iterating every item from the collection, and whenever we will encounter mango, then continue statement will be encountered. So all the process sorry, all the uh, fruit name will be printed over here except mango. When mango will be encountered, then if we get the mango, then continue statement getting encountered, right? For that, continue means control will again go back to the for loop itself. Let me show you. And here you can say apple, kiwi and orange, but mango is missing in this output, right? Because when you have a collection of stuff and just you are iterating your collection using for loop, but for particular value, right, you don't want to process your business logic, right? Then continue comes into picture. Of course you can have a more value over here, and those value you can attach with the or statement, right? Or statement you can write, but I have just here I have given the condition for only mango, right? So if you specify or f equals to, let's say, kiwi, right? So here sorry, here now continuous statement is applied for two values, right? One for mango and second for kiwi. If I run this program, then here you can see now apple, orange, here we got the output, but there are four fruits, so mango and kiwi is not part of the output, right? And that's how we can have more than one statement concatenated with or statement, right? So that's how we use a continue statement within the for loop, right? Now one very important stuff I'm going to show you. So that's basically not matching with some other programming language. So when you use uh, for loop, right, in Python, even if you use while loop, that also applies for the while loop as well. So once all the item basically iterated from the your collection, right, then this statement becomes false. Afterwards you want to if you want to process some statement, right, then you can use else, which is just opposite to the for loop. So the else keyword in the for loop specifies a block of code to be executed when loop is finished. So here you can write else, right? And here we can have a list of a statement, but here just I am putting one single statement, no fruits, something like that. No fruits, that's it. So if I run the program, then here you'll see all the fruit is iterated and finally saying that no fruits, right? So there is no fruit to iterate from the collection, then finally else block is executed, right? Now one more thing I would like to discuss over here. So here till yet we have seen for loop single time, right? But you can have a loop inside a loop, right? And that is called nested loop. Even if you use while loop, you can have a nested loop as well, but here we are talking about the for loop. So let's say I'm using for, and let's say I would say color in, and here just I'm going to specify list of value. Let's say first color is red and second color is, let's say, green, right? This is first for loop, our first for loop. Now second for loop, just I'm going to use this as it is, right? So here just we are iterating fruits from this collection, right, from this list. Now inside this just I'm going to print color as well as that fruit, right? So this is called nested loop, right? So how basically nested loop works? So nested loop in a nested loop is a loop inside a loop. First of all, the inner loop will be executed one time for each iteration of the outer loop. So first of all we have a red, right, in the outer loop. For this red, this loop will be executed for every item. Again for green, inner loop will be executed for every item. Let me show you the output, then you will understand clearly. So here you can say for red, outer loop is executed, inner loop is executed for all the fruits, right? And so first color was red, so red is executed for all the this list of the fruits. and similarly green is executed for all the fruits in the inner loop, and that's how we get the output, right? Last but not the least, we'll talk about the pass statement within a for loop. Let's say we have a for loop. Let's say we have a for loop, and here value of basically I'm printing a value I in, and let's say we have anything. You can have any collection, or you can have a string, or any kind of collection. Let's say I have a collection which holds some integer value, right? And here I'm printing these values, right? And if I run, then our output will be very simple. It is just printing the collection, right? But let's say I don't want to write any statement within the for loop, then it will show you error, right? Here you can see it is, if I run this program, then it is showing an error, right? Saying that indentation error, right? Because we have written the for loop, but inside the for loop we don't have any statement, and that's the reason for throwing an error, right? So if you want to avoid this kind of error, then simply you need to write a pass. That's it. Now after writing the pass inside this for loop, if I run this program, then here you can see now program is running perfectly fine. So if you have a for loop but you don't want to write any statement, in future you can remove this pass and you can have some business logic inside it. But as of now, just you want to pass this for loop, then you can use pass keyword inside the for loop. So that's all I wanted to discuss in this video tutorial, guys. Big thank you for watching this video, and see you there in the next video tutorial.